For the winter major hole 1, we are using any driver of your choosing. You want to use at least 6 top spin if you have it, and you're going to use about 3 left spin. You want to aim down the center of the fairway, and you want to adjust 10% over adjustment of your driver, and then you're going to push up to max and then just hit the ball straight. At 378, she used 60% slider at minus 10% elevation. So you do want to use a minus 10% elevation for your second shot. She used 2 backspin and then aimed it at the hole. Now what Fenzel has come up with, which I have his link in the description below, is he has done 2 back with 1 right, and at yards 364 to 365, he has hit this distance at a minus 10% at 85% club. So we think actually the 2 backspin and 1 right spin is the way to go because it accounts for the wind push since it's a nice crosswind. The shots today I'm showing you are from the 19th hole expert tournament page, and the link will be in the description below. I also did a link to Fenzel's walkthrough as well. For hole 2, we are using a sniper and kingmaker. The wind ball option will be posted on the expert tournament guide as well. You want to use 3 backspin with max right spin. You're going to be putting the yellow ring near the edge of the rough while aiming at the hole. You are going to adjust 1:1 plus 0.3 with this setup. It's basically 15% mid distance of your club. The wind ball option is also 15% mid. But with this option, we like to use 1:1 plus 0.3. Now, if you adjust down into the sand, you want to make sure you push up a half a ring to a 3/4 of ring, depending on how deep you go. Here, she pushed up a half a ring since she wasn't all the way completely down into the sand, and then you try and hit perfect. For hole 3, we're going with the APOC hook. Now with the APOC 5 and 6, you are going to be using 6 topspin and max right spin. We're going to be doing around 22 rings for a wind of 9.5, and you want to go about 24 rings for a wind of around 11 miles per hour. So the stronger the wind, the more rings you pull. So I would say around 24 rings is good, where the blue is just protruding the rock. Around 9.5, it's the yellow protruding the rock if you're into the landmark area. By doing the hook, it gives us a nice sniper shot to the hole. Now we know the elevation is minus 10 and we're coming really close to the hole, but with the green being so glitchy with the ball guide, it's very hard to dial this in. So we are getting closer, and if we do dial this in, we will update when we get the shot. For hole 4, we do know that this shot is 20% mid-distance of our Goliath. What I'm trying to do is aim just to the left of the tip of the dark square that you see in front of the ball guide. And after you aim the shot, then you're going to add spin, at least 1 top. And here I did 0.5 left. And with the grate, even though the grate was in the yellow, it still dropped. So we're still trying to determine if we're going to use the side spin to the left or maybe do some right spin or no spin at all. This shot is still being dialed in and has not regularly fallen yet, except for when we hit great. So again, it's going to be played at 20% mid, and just play with the spin and see how close you guys can get to it. For hole 5, we're using an APOC 5 or greater. We are using 6 top with max right. We're going to be starting at the +3 yard mark, and then we're going to be adjusting 10% maximum distance of our club. So a 10% over adjustment, and then you're going to use about a ball of right curl, and do not overpower the shot, otherwise you have a chance of going into the rough. For the second shot, we're using the Grizzly. You can use a Grizzly 7 and above, and you're going to want to use full top with 1 right spin. And then make sure you avoid the glitch in the rough. There is a glitch, just make sure you avoid it. As you could see there, how it popped up, avoid the glitch. Here she did 35% slider at 0% elevation. So when you do your drive, you're going to be using a 0% elevation on the second shot and the slider of your Grizzly, and do max top with 1 right spin. Aim it at the hole. Hole 6, you're going to want to use an APOC no matter what level you have. Use a power 4 ball for an easier time if you have an APOC 4 or lower. With an APOC 5 or more, you're going to be using 6 top, max left spin starting at the 16 yard mark with your Kingmaker, with the blue just cutting the rough, and you're going to adjust your shot with a 10% over adjustment, and then you're going to use about a ball and a half of left curl, so that way it's just outside the triangle, about a good gap outside the triangle. For the second shot, we are playing a minus 20% elevation, so it plays uphill, so a minus 20%. Now we know with a sniper, when you reach the plus 12 yard mark, the replay won't show it, but she stretches it out to the plus 12 yard mark, and here she played at the plus 8 yard mark. So at the plus 12, we know the sniper will play at max distance. Every yard, or every 2 yards below the plus 12 yard mark, you're going to take off 0.1 of your adjustment. So here she was at the 8 yard mark, and she played minus 20% max distance minus 0.2, since she was 4 yards below the 12 yard mark. She also played 5 backspin with 2 left spin and aimed it at the hole. For hole 7, we're doing the rock layup shot. You're going to be doing 2 backspin with 1 right spin. Your white ring is going to be touching the back of the rough, and you're going to adjust for a 15% over adjustment at maximum distance of your rock. With a drive of 270, he used 80% of his club. Now with a sniper 10, it's probably going to be around 78% at that yardage. you're going to use one top spin and then aim it at the hole with the ball guide going through the hole. Your red or your blue ring is going to be up near the top of the rough, and your yellow ring is going to be near that little incrop of the snow. Now you're going to over adjust 25% for this shot as well. So he did 80% club with a 25% over adjustment. For hole 8, we are using our sniper, and we will be adjusting our at maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment. 2 backspin, 2 left spin. You're going to be aiming so your ball guide goes through the hole and to the right of the pin. Your blue is going to be about half into the rough. You want your ball guide going about a square and a half through to the other side to account for the wind push, and then she adjusts for maximum distance of her club with a 20% over adjustment. For hole 9, we'll be showing you 2 options, one with the Thor's hammer and one with the big topper. For here, the Thor's hammer, we are playing a Thor's hammer 6. A 5 will not work, you want a 6. Max top with 1 right spin, and you will adjust at maximum distance of your club with no elevation. For our second shot, we chose the Horizon because it has the most top spin on any level than any of our wood clubs. So here we have max top spin with 2 right spin, and then you're going to adjust your shot with a 10% elevation. Your curl is going to vary depending on the angle of your shot, but you want to do at least a half a ball to a full ball of curl. Just make sure you don't over curl it because it can curl into the rough to the right. Here I played with the big topper. I have a big topper 6, so it's going to be different if you have a big topper that's lower. You're going to do full top spin with 1 right spin, and here I played at mid distance with a 10% elevation. I don't believe that we need the 10%, so you could just play it at mid distance with your big topper 6, because I wasn't in full maximum range and I was close to min, but with the headwind push I played it at mid distance. With a big topper 5 or below, you're going to be playing it at max distance for your adjustment. Here I used my Horizon as well, and I did full top spin with as much right spin as it would allow without losing the full top spin, and then I adjusted it for maximum distance of my club with a 10% elevation, and then did some curl as well. But my ball ended up coming in a little bit short because I played it off the rough more than the shot previously, because I was scared of that rough. So if it does come up short, the chip is really easy, and I will show you that next. As you can see with the chip, it is a straight on headwind, so make sure your ball guide is going through the hole, and then you want to try and hit perfect. This shot, along with many more, can be found on the 19th hole expert tournament page, and the link will be in the description below. Good luck, guys, and happy golfing.